Alright, good evening everybody. We should be live right now. I actually just did this video and I just found out I had some sound issues, so take two, I suppose. We will go ahead and confirm before we get moving on just to make sure we are live. And it looks like we are live. Alright. I go ahead and I'll post this into the Twitter, or X I should say. Indicator Roundup for the week. Alright, so I'm posting it there. I suppose I should post it as well inside of the Discord. That would be the proper way to do it. There we go. Alright everybody, I hope you had a great trading week. I'm sorry I did not get to do a tuning video on Sunday. I got caught up in some traffic, could not get home, and I did not get home until way too late. So I did a quick tune just on 2 indicators. I did post in the Discord why I only did 2 indicators, and that is because I am currently working on a new version of the bands, and if I had posted the the templates, I don't believe it would have worked the same inside of the old version of the band. So the way I'm doing the new ones, I'm trying to get them a little cleaner. I don't know if it would have worked, so I just did not risk that. I went ahead and I tried to play it safe. So I apologize if you guys are looking forward to that. I'm sure some people were. Sorry, it just is what it is. Did not have a chance to change it. So. On that note, for everybody who has been able to, let me pull this up real quick for everybody here. Usually do a disclaimer on the copy paste. I'll just do it that way for you. Make sure that everybody takes a chance to read this before we get started. Trading is risky. Be sure to read this disclaimer. There's a longer version, of course, on the Discord as well as the website on chompsky.net. Trading's risky, all sales final. If you purchase a license, it's for 1 machine ID. If you want to use a VPS, please send me a message. We'll set that up a little bit differently for you so we don't get you disrupted on your license. So if you do want to, go ahead and check out my indicator suite. It is, I want everyone to try it before they buy it. There's a week-long trial. If that's not enough time for you to play with it, let me know. I will go ahead and open it up a few more days for you so you can really give it good, thorough testing. I want you to know it adds value to your trading before you pull the plug and before you actually use it for trading. So real quick, we will look at last week's, I guess it was Monday night when I tuned. I think I did a pretty fast tune, but it was a good tune. And I only did it on 2 indicators as well. So the 21st or 20th, I think, is when I put the results in the Discord. And we'll pull that up real quick just so we can see what that was. Yeah, here we go. And this is from the Discord right here. As you can see, we were looking at a CWAP of 62% win rate. Pretty good amount of trades there on the CWAP, 58 wins to 35 losses. That was looking really good. And then the shark fins had a 73% win rate with not a lot of trades, but not, I don't know, 20 trades, almost 19 trades. That's not bad. That's a pretty good sample size for me for a week. And just so you guys know, what I'm doing is I'm kind of totally breaking the norm when it comes to trying to curve fit or not curve fit onto market conditions. Since I'm trading every day, I'm just looking to basically curve fit to the last 10 days so I can kind of get in and hopefully scrape out some of the profits still going on with that current market style. Now, if you talk to most people, they'll say don't curve fit. And if you're trying to make a evergreen algorithm, you probably wouldn't want to curve fit. However, I don't have a lot of luck with doing that. After testing literally thousands and thousands of algorithms, I found most of them eventually go through periods of massive drawdown. So I said, you know what? They all can almost be curve fit at some point. And so I've kind of taken a contrarian view there, and I curve fit on purpose. So that's how I do it. I'm not saying you need to do it that way. It just seems to be working out pretty good so far. The results for the end of the week for this week, the total ended up being green, which I'm happy to see that. It ended up being up 175 points if you total all of these numbers here on these up. Now that's potential. There were trades during news that I would not ever have taken, and of course these, just in case you don't understand, these are going to be basically on perfect conditions if you entered at the very, very close to the bar and went exactly the amount of ticks that it's set to. These are the most perfect conditions, as there's no slippage at all. So unless you're entering with, like in this situation here, unless you're entering with a limit right here, it's a pretty good chance that this could have slipped just one bar and then it wouldn't have hit your target, pull back up, and it would have hit here probably, but there's even a chance it could have slipped. Maybe if it was moving really fast, you might have gotten slipped down to maybe here and didn't hit your target here, and then it comes back and stops you. Even though here it's saying it was a winner, it may have been a loser, right? So those things can happen. Nothing in trading is ever perfect. It never goes 100% the way you think it is. That's just part of the business, unfortunately. So looking back here, we did have some really amazing shark fins, and as well as, look, this one right here. That's a beautiful call on the trend. And that's what I like to see. I like to see that, hey, we did a good job. There's a loser here, but then you get a winner. It says it's down here. Where is this guy? Yeah, you get a winner right there, and that thing just runs all day. So if you were able to call a pretty good run on one of these like that, you would have definitely been able to get in some good trades, hopefully. That's a great shark fin here, this dot. And then I saw one I wanted to share with you guys. This one right here. I hope someone caught that. I was not trading shark fins at the moment when that happened. I had chosen, I think I'd chosen CWAPs, I can't remember. But that actually was this area right here. And so it broke here, pulled back. And I called earlier in the week that I said there's a signal all the way up here for the CWAP, this little green bar. I say signal, it was a target. And I said, man, that's really ambitious. And then it ended up hitting it. But before it did, it pulled back all the way to this 62% zone. It's actually 38 because it's red. But it pulled back to this Chompsky fib just above it. And then that's where that shark fin was. And I thought, man, that is a beautiful shark fin. I really hope someone caught that. That is just the bottom. So, or at least the local bottom. So anyways, I thought that was pretty neat. Overall, it ended up being another green week. I'm happy to see that. So far, the tunings have been pretty profitable as far as what's pulling out at the end of the week. The trick is really finding the right signal or combination of signals to take. That's always the tricky part, it seems. You know, try to fit those signals to the current market, right? And so last week we ended up it ended up 92.25 points. The week before that was 42 points up. I think the week before that was about 49.5. So last month has been really, really good on the tunings, so I'm going to keep it up. This is kind of still new to me, the way I'm doing it, but it's really hands-off because what I do is I plug these signals, however I'm looking at them, I try to plug them into the Predator. And if you're not using Predator, definitely check out Predator. I have a link in the description. It's actually, I'm affiliated with them. They're one of those, to me, it's mission essential. So Predator is the way I plug my signals in. Like these are CWAP signals right here, these tags. And you can customize these. You can make them all the same exact tag if you want. But I plug them in here to enter and to exit, not to exit. I use these exit criteria down here. Like I had my break even set to 42 ticks here, so it automatically jumps into a break even at 42 ticks. And then it will go ahead and take my profit at 50 here, and that's where I had mine set this week. It did pretty good. I think I had a couple losers, but I had more winners than losers, and they were bigger winners than losers, and that's what matters. And this is not a perfect, setup for every day or anything. This is just how I plugged it in based off of what I was seeing, how smooth the price action was. See if we had a lot of reversals, like if it had shrunk down a lot on the win rate, I probably should have had this a lot higher, just because it wasn't shrinking on the win rate. It was doing really well, and so when it does really well, it seems like, you know, your break evens aren't really as necessary. But if it's chopping around and it's really knocking you out a lot, then maybe do a break even just to kind of hedge some of those higher risk trade areas. But this week was really smooth when it did enter. It seemed like it did a pretty good job. And so that's basically how I do it. There is a time skip filter down here. The last 2 trades today, for whatever reason, I had the time filter on, and I never do that, but I did it today, and it cost me 2 solid trades. That was over 100 ticks that I gave up today on CWAPs. Actually, no, it was 150, because right here, this one would have been also on my books, and I just did not even realize I did that. So I did have this trade here. I did not make it. I did have this trade here. Did not make it. That would have been, I think this would have won. This one might have stopped me out. Let me look. No, it wouldn't have stopped me out, but it may have been close to break even, because I don't know if I would have gotten slippage or if it would have exited here. It looks like I probably would have just exited, but hard to say without, well, we can look at the time. So down here at the bottom, these bars printed right there as a second. Oh, 9 seconds. So yeah, that's not very fast. So between this one though, 38 and 40, I think I would have entered probably right in here. So that would have probably been it. So I think I would have gotten that one a full trade there. And then at the very, very end of the day, the CWAP came in and took one more winner. So I would have been 3 trades up for the day. That would have put me about 7 trades up for the week. I think it took somewhere in the, well, no, it would have been, yeah, about 7 trades up in the week, I think is what I had mine set to. So that would have been a really, really good week. Not a bad week overall, but I did take a couple losers, and I missed these 3 trades today that would have just really set it off. But that's all right. You don't, you never have a perfect trading week. It seems like you do, but you're in far. So you take what you get and you just learn from it. And so that's the roundup for the week. It looks like we finished almost exactly the opposite on these 2 indicators, which is funny to me, because the CWAP was about 62 when we tuned it, and this one was about 73 when we tuned it on the shark fins. So really interesting, really funny in a way. A lot less shark fins this week for sure, but CWAP really came out kicking. And as you guys know already, I was not able to tune the bands just because I could have tuned them, but I don't think it was fair to everybody to see me just tune them and not share that information. So I wouldn't have used them just because I wouldn't have felt right about it. So I do hope to have this new version of the bands. As you can see, they do look a lot cleaner. I have them to where they're printing with different brushes now. I wanted to get them to where they're really, really smooth, and they load better on bigger bar or smaller bar charts where you have a ton of bars. If you're using a bigger bar size, you probably don't have any problems with it unless your computer is really slow. But there are some people that have mentioned that they do lag on really, really small time charts with a lot of data open, and that's the ones I'm trying to help out mostly. And it does help on anyone's computer to have, you know, that memory free. So if I can make them a little better, I will, and that's what I'm working on. And then I have tweaked a couple of bugs that I did find from doing some really extensive work. I have a guy who's messaged me a few times that it wasn't working on some certain charts, especially time-based charts. So if you're having those issues at all, I'm working on that. I think I'll have it fixed in the next edition of this. I'm pretty sure anyway. I want to say thanks to Phil for pointing that out to me. I really appreciate it. I think we'll have those up and running, if not this weekend, next weekend. And I'd like to get them out sooner than later. So hang tight, and we'll do our best to get those out soon. And I'm wishing you guys success. Hope you